Hello friends, this video on matrices part 37 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Before watching this video, please make sure that you have watched part 1 to part 36. Let's take one example where we have to again find inverse using elementary transformation. Here instead of 2 by 2 it is 3 by 3 matrix. Same thing will apply here too. So let's assume this is A. So we have the formula A into A inverse is equal to I, or we can say that this guy 2 0 minus 1 5 1 0 0 1 3. This into A inverse is equal to I will be this time this guy 3 cross 3 matrix. Why? Because everything is 3 cross 3. Correct. Now if you see, the first thing which you should do is we should convert this to 1, because we have to finally make this as identity. This guy should become 1, and now we will be using row transformation in this case. I like row, it's a little simple for me because everything is horizontal. I have to make changes. So to make this as 1, I can simply divide the whole thing by 2, so this becomes 1. So let's do this. So let me fast the division here because the lengthy question, it may take more space. So, okay. So I'll say R1 is nothing but R1 by R2. So this is my row 1, row 2, row 3. Or let me write here also. Row 1, row 2. Correct. So this guy I'll say everything divided by 2. So this becomes 2 by 2, that is 1, 0 by 2, 0, minus 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2. Other elements are still same. 0, this is 1, this is my element on this side into A inverse is equal to, same thing I have to do for here also. This row I have to modify. This row should become 1 by 2 of this. So 1 becomes 1 by 2, 0 becomes 0 by 2, 0 becomes 0 by 2. And other rows are still same, no change. Now, the second thing I have to do is, I have to, as I told, right, in case of rows, we generally follow the clockwise direction. So next is this guy is my target. First time this guy was my target, now this is my target. I have to make it 0. To make it 0, I can't use the 0, I can multiply with 0, that's not possible because the operation is not valid. What I can do is, I can subtract this guy with this guy or this guy. So I subtract 5 with this guy, doesn't make sense because it's all 0. Even if you multiply this number and subtract, it's all 0, it won't make much difference. But if you multiply this guy number with 5 and subtract, 5 minus 5 will become 0, correct? So I can say that R2 is nothing but R2 minus 5 R1. Why? R1. Why? Because 5 minus 5 is 0. So let me do that. Other elements are correct. The only element that makes a difference is R2. So 5 minus 5 is 0. 1 minus 5 times 0 is again 0, so 1 minus 0 is 0, 1, and 0 minus 5 by 2. So let me write here, this is like this, 0 minus 5 into minus 1 by 2. This whole things become 5 by 2. So this becomes 5 by 2, because minus minus become plus. And this row is again unchanged here. So this into A inverse is nothing but, here also I have to change row 2. So row 1 is unchanged. Row 2 is R2 minus 5 R1. So 0 minus 5 into 1 by 2, that becomes 5 minus 5 by 2. 1 minus 5 times 0 doesn't make sense, or no change. So this is my value. So I have these values set. Now my next target is this guy. this guy is 1 now. This guy is 1 and this guy should be 0. How to make it 0? Again, even if I subtract with this, it won't make difference because it's 0 here. I have to subtract with row 2 only. Subtract with row 2, it will be 0. So I can say that R3 is nothing but R3 minus R2. Why? This guy minus this guy becomes 0. Other things won't get impacted because this is minus this is 0. This is already set. So I can say like this. Other values are not impacted. R3 is impacted. 0 minus 0. Subtracting this from this. 0. 1 minus 1. 0. 3 minus 5 by 2 is 1 by 2. Correct? 3 minus 5 by 2 is 1 by 2. Into A inverse. This guy is equal to. Again, the first and second row is not impacted. This guy is impacted. 0 minus 5 by 2 is plus 5 by 2. And this guy is 0 minus 1. This is 1 actually. 0 minus 1 is minus 1. And this guy is 1 minus 0 is again 1. No impact. This is my matrix. These numbers are done. Now my next target is this because these elements are set now for me. This has to be 1. This is very simple. I can just multiply this by 2. So this no impact if you multiply. If you multiply R3 by 2, this becomes 1. This has no impact. So I can say that R3 is nothing but twice R3. So what I get here is R1, R2 no impact. R3 will have impact. 0 into 2 is 0, 0 into 2 is 0, 0 into 1 by 2 is 1. Into A inverse is nothing but. Here also R1, R2 no impact. R3 will have impact. Plus 5 by 2 into 2 is 5. Minus 2 into minus 1 into 2 is minus 2 and 1 into 2 is 2. This is what I have got. Now I have to make this guy as 0 because this has to be 0 and this guy also has to be 0. So let me first make this guy as 0. How to make this guy as 0? What I can do is, and also I don't want to impact these guys. So if I use these R1, these guys will be impacted because some addition will come here. If I use R3, these guys won't have impact. Correct? Because R3 into some number plus R2, these guys won't have impact because these guys are 0. So what I can say that, I can say R2 is nothing but R2 minus 5 by 2 R1. So 5 by 2 R3. 5 by 2 minus 5 by 2 because this is 1 into 5 by 2 is 5 by 2. 5 by 2 minus 5 by 2 will be 0. So what I get here is 0 minus, sorry, 1, 0 minus 1 by 2 and R2 is getting impacted. So this guy becomes 0 minus 5 by 2 into 0 is 0 only. So 0 into 0 cancel. And 1 minus 5 by 2 0 into 0. So this is 0, 1 minus 0 is 0. This guy becomes 5 by 2 minus 1 into 5 by 2. I can show you 5 by 2 minus 1 into 5 by 2. So this is something like 5 by 2 into 5 by 2. So this becomes, this is 1 actually. No impact. 1 minus 0. And this line is also not having any impact. This into A inverse is nothing but. Here also first row, no impact. Third row, no impact. The only impact is second row. Second row is nothing but 5 by 2 minus R3. So this is 0 minus 5 by 2 into R3. So if you see, this guy currently is minus 5 by 2. This is nothing but minus 5 by 2 minus 5 by 2 into R3. R3 is 5. This is nothing but minus 5 by 2 minus 25 by 2. That is minus 30 by 2, that is minus 1. Correct? How I got? See, this current value is minus 5 by 2. This has to be this minus 5 by 2 into this. So that is minus 15. This guy is minus 1. This guy is 0 minus 5 by 2 into this. That is 0 minus 5 by 2 into minus 2. So this becomes, I think, 5. So this becomes 5. Here also this becomes 0 minus 5 by 2 into, this is 2 here. So this becomes minus 5. So this guy here is minus 5. So everything here except this guy. This guy here is what? Minus 1 by 2. I have to make it what? I have to make it 0. What I can do is, I cannot use this one because this is 0. Not helpful to me. I can use R3. What I can say is R1 is nothing but R1 plus, this is 1 by 2. If you make it 1 by 2 and you add this, this becomes 0. So R1 plus 1 by 2 into R3. So then this becomes 0 because minus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 becomes 0. So let's do that. So this is 0, so this won't have any impact. This won't have any impact. This becomes 0. Minus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2. This guy is anyways doesn't have any impact. This into A inverse is equal to, here the first row will have an impact. R1 is equal to R1 plus 1 by 2 R3. So this becomes 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 into 5 by 2. That is 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 into 5. That is 5 by 2 plus 1 by 2. That is 6 by 2. That is 3. Similarly, this guy will become 0 plus 1 by 2 into minus 2. So this 1 by 2 into minus 2 is what? Plus 0. Minus 1. So this guy becomes minus 1. Similarly, this guy also 0 plus 1 by 2 into 2 by 0 plus 1 by 2 into 2. This will cancel. This is 1. This is 1. These rows are not impacted. So this is my answer. Why? Because this I have got I. So I can say A inverse as this value, and that is my answer. So what I have done here also I have used row operations, but the logic here, if you see, I started with this element, I took these elements, see, I took this element, I took this element, and then I took these elements like this. So always follow, general convention is anti-clockwise direction. If you are using row operation for column, follow the clockwise direction. Thank you. Visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thanks once again.